Hi, and welcome to another video by Get It Done Home Repairs. Today's project, I'm going to show you how to repair a large hole in the wall. Whether it's this size or if it's a little larger or a little smaller, the procedure is going to be the exact same. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to come in and we're going to mark exactly where we're going to make the cut in the wall so we could put our patch in. So we're just going to square it off till it's covering up or taking away most of the wall that has been damaged. And we're just going to mark it with our pencil, and then we'll come in with a utility knife and we'll strike along those lines and we'll cut out where we're going to put our patch. So let's mark it off and then we'll continue.
So we're going to cut it right across that line, just like that, just to cut the outside paper on the drywall. Same thing down here. Drywall saw. We're going to do it right here now, and we're going to cut over. And now we're just going to clean this up inside here a little bit, where our new drywall is going to go. Just like that. That it was 3.5 by 7. So we're going to go in the garage now and we're going to cut the back piece out 3.5 by 7. But let me show you what we're going to do here. We're going to leave an additional piece of paper on here so that we can use that to actually seal this up. Okay, so let's go inside and cut that piece out and we'll patch this up. So now we're in the garage. We have our sheetrock laid out. Now remember, this way here was 3.5 inches. So we had 3.5 by 7. So the exact size is going to be 3.5 by 7, but we want to make it a little bit longer. Instead of being 3.5, we're going to make it so we have an inch on this side and an inch on this side. So 3.5, we're going to make it actually 5.5 because that'll give us an inch here and an inch here. Okay, so we're going to do 5.5 inches. Right here, 5.5. We're going to do 5.5 again, right here. Okay, and now we know it was 7, but we want to have an inch here and an inch here, so we're going to make it 9. So we're going to go 9 inches now, which is right here and right here. Okay, so now we know we're going to cut along those lines right there. We're going to cut this way, and we're also going to cut this way, but we are going to do it from the back, just so you know. Okay, so just like this. So now we have 5.5, and here we should have 9, which we do. Okay, so after we have it laid out now, we're going to come in here, we're going to put our straight edge on it, just like this. We're going to take our utility knife, make sure you have a nice sharp blade in there. Okay, and we're going to cut it very slow, very easily. We're just going to score it easy, just like that. Now each time you score it, you just go slightly deeper. Okay, so now we have it marked. We're going to cut it through the rest of the way. We're going to put a piece of wood underneath it so we can cut a straight line. Okay, so now we have it cut through. On this side, we're going to just take this, do it like that, take our utility knife, and just cut right along the crease, just like that. Okay, and now we have our patch. Now, remember, we had to make it 9 inches by 5.5. So that's what we have, 9 inches by 5.5. So we're going to turn it over now, and we're going to measure in 1 inch this way, right here. We're going to measure in 1 inch here again. One inch on this side, of course. And then, of course, we're going to measure in 1 inch this way. Okay, so now we have our marks. Let's just get in here, and we're going to draw a line. Draw a line this way here as well. Okay, so now this should be 3.5 this way, and it should be 7 this way. So let's measure it and make sure. 3.5 and 7. So now this is our patch right in here. I hope you can see that. Okay, next we're going to take our utility knife, and on the back of the drywall, we're going to cut that line here, 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 and here. Okay, so we're going to do it now just like this. Okay, so now that we have it cut along the back, we're just going to take this and bend it down just like that. Making sure you don't damage this part here, the paper. Okay, then we're going to take this and we're going to peel off just the back, leaving the paper attached. See? Just like that. As I said, we're going to clean off this part right here. We don't need this on there. We want that off. So we're going to clean that off a little bit here. And there you go. The paper is still on here, just like this. Next, we're going to go inside now, and we're going to take this in the wall, and we're going to see if it fits in there nice and tight. And next, we're going to take our patch, put our patch in here, and see if it fits okay there. You can see it fits in there nice. Okay, but we have that little border around the outside. Why do we have that border on there? Because normally you would cut a piece and put it in here, and then you would have to put tape, 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 tape. With this, you don't have to. We already have the tape attached to our stock right here. So now we're going to take this, we're going to put on here drywall spackle, and we're going to attach this to the wall. Okay, so what we're going to do is we'll put drywall spackle all around this here, just like this. You want to use quite a bit actually, because you want it to really dry, nice and solid, and pull everything in. So we're just going to put a little bit around the outside, just like this. Same thing up here. We're going to take our patch, and we're going to put some spackle on the outside of the patch, because we want this patch to dry right to the wall so that it actually becomes one solid piece. Just like that. I'm going to put a little bit in there as well. Okay. Next, we're going to take our patch, and we're going to put our patch in the wall just the way that we had it here, just like this, and push it in. Okay. Next, we're going to push the paper down into the drywall spackle, just like that. And now we'll just smooth it down. Okay, so now our drywall patch is in, the spackle is on. We're going to let the spackle dry for a little while, and then we'll come back here and we'll put our first coat of finishing spackle over the top of this patch. Okay, so now after it's dried a little bit, we're going to come in here with our first coat and we're going to put it over the top, and we'll start to get this job finished off. Okay, so for today, this is finished. We're going to let this dry thoroughly overnight. Once it dries overnight, we'll come in here with some sandpaper. We'll sand it very lightly, and then we'll need to put one more coat of the spackle over the top of this to finish this job off. So we'll be back tomorrow, and we'll finish this job off.
Go ahead.
Okay, so now after our spackle has dried and is ready to have it sanded down, so we could put our second coat on it, because you'll notice that it's not perfectly smooth yet. What we're going to do is, instead of sanding it with sandpaper right now, because as you know, spackle dust gets all over the place and it makes quite a mess, we're just going to take a sponge, a damp sponge, and we're going to continue to work around the outside of it to try to smooth it off so that it's perfectly even with the rest of the walls. And then we'll come in here with our spackle or drywall compound, and we'll put another coat on it. And our final coat, we will sand it with sandpaper, but we're just trying to minimize the amount of dust in the house, because no matter what you do, spackle dust seems to get everywhere. Next, we come in with our drywall spackle, and we go over the top of the patch that we just put in after it's thoroughly dried, of course. We come in here and we try to make it as smooth as we possibly can. Remember, the smoother you make it, the easier it is to sand it off later on once it dries with our final coat. All right, so let's continue with this, smooth it off, and we'll see how it comes out. Okay, so now after we smoothed out the spackle until it's fairly smooth and we took all of the little bumps out of it, we are going to have to sand this again one time more when it dries up. But once it dries, we'll come in here with our sanding block, sand it down, and then you'll be able to put some paint over it, and it'll be as if it was never there before. All right, so once this dries, we'll come back and we'll finish this off. All right, so as you can see, repairing the wall is really not that difficult. Just make sure that after you do the repair on the wall and you're sanding it, whether you're wet sanding it or dry sanding it with sandpaper and a sanding block, when you're in here sanding, use your hand to feel to make sure that there's no bumpy area. What you don't want is you don't want a transition area between here and here. You want to be able to run your hand down it and not even feel a bump or anything else inside there. Now, I will give you one more word of advice. When you're sanding, do not go up and down like this. What I normally do is go on the diagonal like this. It makes it less visible when you are sanding it. All right, that's it. This job is done, and we're on to the next one. All right, if you like this video, please subscribe down below, and you can highlight, when the bell comes up, you can highlight the bell to be notified of future uploads. All right, as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.